Good evening, my wild and beautiful friends. I'm so glad you're here. Tonight, we're talking waffles. I have been working on perfecting my waffle batter recipe, and I think I've got it pretty dialed in. I'd love to know what you guys think. I'm hoping to use it for something very exciting in the future. So if you want to give this yeasty, really fluffy, delicious waffle batter recipe a try, it's super simple, I promise. Keep on watching to see how we make it. Alrighty guys, it's the night before we're going to make our waffles. I'm going to get our batter started here. I've got a half a cup of warm water and 1 packet of active dry yeast. I'm going to let these dissolve together for about 5 minutes before I add the rest of my ingredients. Honestly, this is the most time-consuming part, but you literally just dump a bunch of stuff into a bowl and let it sit overnight, and then you add the rest of the ingredients in the morning, and you have got an epic waffle batter. So worth the time, in my opinion. So I'm just going to stir this up and let it sit for about 5 minutes. Let that yeast really dissolve in. It's going to get kind of milky and a little frothy. That's how you know your yeast is looking good. Then to that, I'm going to add a cup of non-dairy milk. I really like to bake with unsweetened soy milk. I think that the fat content and the flavors blend really well with other flavors. So that's what I like to use, but use whatever you've got on hand. I'm then going to add in 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. For whatever reason, I only added 2 cups and then started stirring and remembered that third half cup halfway through. So we're going to mix this up, and then I'm going to add the other half. You can add it all at the same time, of course. Just get that nice and incorporated. I'm just getting out any big giant lumps really quickly. And then there's our last half cup there. It's definitely going to be a very loose dough. Then all you're going to do is throw some saran wrap on top. You can leave it out on the counter. That's what I did. You can also put it in the fridge if you prefer. Let it sit overnight, and then in the morning we're going to add the rest of our ingredients and make some delicious waffles. Somehow I didn't fight with my saran wrap while we were filming. It's like a July miracle. Although the little perforated thing that cuts my saran wrap broke, so I'm just using some scissors and it's working pretty well. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Here we are with our batter that's been sitting overnight. Look how delicate and beautiful that is. It smells so yeasty and delicious. Okay, next thing we're going to do, I'm going to melt a half a cup of butter. I like to use this plant-based butter from Country Crock when I'm baking. I think it has a really nice texture and flavor. I'm going to add a half a cup of our soy milk to that. I'm just adding it to our warm butter just so we don't kill any yeast action that's happening with really hot melted butter. Then to that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of maple syrup. So we're just going to dump in a bunch of ingredients and stir it up, and we'll be ready to make our waffles. Super simple. Next up, I've got a teaspoon of baking soda, and then about 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. I will, of course, type down below all the amounts and what I used for ingredients. Super simple ingredients. Hopefully you have most of these in your pantry already. After that, we're going to add some vanilla. I don't know about you guys, but I measure vanilla the same way I measure garlic, and that is with my heart. I decided on 2 teaspoons because I feel like vanilla is a non-negotiable in waffles. It just makes it nice and Belgian waffle smelling and tasting. Now I'm just going to go through here and stir this around. As you can see, that dough just takes a little bit of coercing to get the liquids into it. So I'm kind of pulling it up and making sure it gets really well incorporated. And we will be ready to make ourselves some waffles. Okay, we're on to the waffle maker section of this video. I need your guys' help. I would love to know your recommendations on waffle makers. I found this on sale at Smith's for $19.99. It works just fine, but I feel like I could up my game a little bit more. But for what it's worth, it does great. I'm just greasing our little waffle maker here, and I'm adding about a half a cup of our waffle mix. I'm going to let this go. The one thing I do know about making waffles is I let this go and I try not to open it for at least 4 minutes, even if it says it's ready, because I feel like I always try to open it early because I'm so impatient and they break apart. So I let this guy go for a solid 4 minutes before I opened it, and it is looking golden and smelling delicious. I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. Oh, I'm so excited. So another great thing about this recipe is you can make the whole batch. You don't have to eat the whole batch though. I'm going to throw these in some Ziplocs, so ones that Steve and I aren't going to eat for breakfast. And I will put them in the fridge or the freezer and we can toast them at our leisure. And with it just being the two of us, it's really nice to be able to make a whole batch and let them go, a couple times. We can eat waffles for the week with this batch of waffles. So, my personal favorite way to eat these is with a little bit of vegan butter and some real maple syrup. It's also awesome with fresh fruit and peanut butter. Steve loves chia seeds on his. We're going to kind of keep it plain Jane and simple for you so you can see just how beautiful these waffles are. Ooh, I cannot wait to eat it. Look at that slow-mo sexy syrup pour. Yum. And I had a little batter left over, so of course I had to make an olive-sized waffle. Let's see what our resident taste tester thinks of these little guys. You into it, Olive? All right, see ya. I think she likes it, folks. And there you have it, my newly perfected waffle batter recipe. It's light and fluffy, easy to make. I hope you love it as much as I do. I would love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope that you're all staying safe and healthy, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Cheers.